What is going on, guys? JLifeFuture here, and I am bringing you my new series-ish thing. I don't know. I want to call it Weekly Wrap-Up. So I just talk about stuff that has happened this week, and I'll put it over some game. Today I've chose Call of Duty, and just let everyone know that this is in theater mode, so I might not be shooting at someone, and I got a kill, and you'll be like, oh, this lag switcher, blah, 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 but it's in theater mode. I got this before I got my Elgato. Playing some Nuketown. And I know I have one other gameplay that I got through theater mode. So the next two, I guess this week and the next week will be through theater mode, and then hopefully after that will have things out of theater mode. And yes, I know I play a little campish. Don't hate on my game. I don't know. I wanted a high score, and as you can see, I was running Orbital, Warthog, and the Lodestar. But in this, I don't really want to talk about the game. I just put in the background for you guys something for you guys to watch. But what I do want to talk about is, so I only play Xbox on the weekends, and that's when I get all my footage and gameplay and stuff. So I was this weekend, or no, I guess it was last weekend maybe, or this weekend. I don't know. It was a little mixture of both. But I got like 6 or 7 games of my player done, and then something went wrong, and I lost the footage. So that kind of really sucks. I lost 6 or 7 games, and I'm pretty mad about it. I'm not really sure what happened, where it went wrong, but I cannot find the footage on my laptop anymore, and it's not on the Elgato recording device. Well, like the application on my laptop. So yeah, I'm pretty mad about that because that's a good chunk of games. I'll talk about it in my actual My Player video, but I just want to give you guys a heads up about that because, yeah, I lost a decent amount of games, and that was kind of a waste of time. But anyway, moving on from that. There was also the Champions League draw for the next round. I'm pretty sure it's the round of 8 now. And the games that are going to be played, I think it's April 2nd, I want to say, is when the first games are. But the games are going to be Dortmund, Malaga, Galatasaray and Real Madrid, Barca and PSG, and then Juventus and Bayern. And those are some pretty good games. There's at least one big name team in every single one. I guess the least biggest name team is Malaga, and they're playing Dortmund. And I think Dortmund will pull out the victory over Malaga. I'm still kind of surprised that they're there. Oh yeah, and here I think I had to check a text message or something. That's why I wasn't playing. But I yeah, sorry. Going back to the Dortmund Malaga game, I feel like Dortmund will prevail. I think Dortmund will go pretty far in the competition because I think they'll win next round too. I think they can get into the final. I I guess I don't know if they're considered an underdog or not. They're not as big as Real Madrid and Barcelona, but I feel like they're kind of second in the Bundesliga to Bayern because the Bayern Giants they dominate the Bundesliga. But I feel like Dortmund could pull it off with Royce, Götze, Hummels. Not even sure if Subotic plays. I I, I really don't get to watch much Bundesliga games because I live in America and they just don't show. And they don't show those games. They show a lot of EPL games or BPL games, whatever you want to call it, English Premier League, what's called the British Premier League, the Barclays Premier League. They show a lot of those games, but they don't really go to any other leagues. I would like to see, or I'd like to watch other leagues because I think it'd be interesting to see the different leagues, except seeing Manchester United play every single weekend because that's what it really is. It's either Manchester United, Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool. I'm a Liverpool fan and supporter, so I'm glad about that. But they just show the big name teams like any sports, it's usually the Yankees for the American baseball, the Yankees, Red Sox, basketball, the Heat now because they're the big team, football, the Patriots. Yeah, so they just show the big name teams and the big name leagues. So that's why we don't get different leagues over here. And then going into the next matchup, Galatasaray versus Real Madrid. Yilmaz, the man from Galatasaray, he's had a pretty good, I'd say a pretty good Champions League. I'm pretty sure he's second in scoring with 7 or 8 goals behind Ronaldo, and Ronaldo has 8 or 9. But I think I think Real Madrid will pull it out. I think Galatasaray had their run with Schneider and Drogba and Yilmaz, and I don't really know that much about Galatasaray, but I just think the Real Madrid, the Spanish giants, along with Barcelona, will pull it off. And then the next match, Barcelona versus PSG. I guess that's the most high profile game that there is, with the likes of Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I didn't realize how cocky he was. He's a very cocky man. He's had I've read some of his quotes and it's pretty funny. I remember it was one about how he was asked what his thoughts were on how David Beckham is giving away his salary because he's doing that at PSG and he's donating it to charity, and Zlatan, he responded saying, I'm the one bringing the money. The kids of Paris should be by watching me. That's how they should get paid or something like it. It was just really cocky. I'm like, whoa, all right, didn't know that you were that cocky. But I think Barcelona will pull through. I had my prediction wrong about AC Milan and Barcelona. Barcelona eventually got the W. I think they're just too good with the likes of Messi, with Iniesta, Xavi, the man in goal, Victor Valdez. Gotta keep it strong back there. People hate on him way too much, in my opinion, because the only Barcelona's defense is not that great, and when the other team has a chance, it's always a 1v1. It's never build up play and a shot from outside the box. It's always just a 1v1 breakaway. That's who was the guy in AC? It was Nyong, I think so I say his name. He's a Frenchman who plays on AC Milan. And the major chance that they had in that game was a 1v1 against Victor Valdez and Nyong. And Nyong hit it off the post. And that was definitely a game changing miss, I guess, opportunity. If he put that in, I think AC Milan would have gone through, because right after that miss, Messi went down and he just scored because he's Messi and he can just do that. But yeah, I think Barcelona's just too good there. I think they would make it to the final, depending on the draw. I think any of these teams could really make it to the final, except Malaga and Galatasaray, and I'm not really sure about PSG. I don't think they have it in them. Yeah, I just don't think they have it in them. But going into the last matchup of the round of 8, Juventus versus Bayern. So Bayern, they barely squeaked it out against Arsenal, which I was very surprised about. Bayern's played fantastic this season. I know they're running away with the Bundesliga. A couple of my friends and kids I play Xbox with are really big Bayern fans, and they too did not think that Bayern played it all along with everyone. And yeah, Bayern's having an amazing season in the Bundesliga, and they just did not show up at the Allianz. Yeah, that game was at the Allianz, and they just did not show up, and they did not look like a championship, UEFA championship. Yeah, I don't know how to say that. The champions of the UEFA Champions League. Maybe that's how you say it. But yeah, they didn't look like a championship team, and I'm surprised that they didn't do that. I thought they would show up, and they did not. I think they'll pick it back up with they have some pretty big players on the team. Robin, Ribery. I know Robin hasn't been playing as well as he used to. Ribery's still very good. Gomez, I know he's not playing that much, but they got some pretty big names. Neuer, you can always expect a good game out of Neuer. He is solid in that. He's a top class keeper. But yeah, so basically just going through my picks again for the Champions League round of 8. I will have Dortmund over Malaga, Real Madrid over Galatasaray, Barcelona over PSG. Oh, I guess I really didn't talk about Juventus. I don't know that much about Juventus. I know that they have Pirlo, Quagliarella, Giovinco. I really haven't seen them play. I know, of course, they have Buffon in goal and Chiellini in the back. I haven't seen them play that much, but I think Bayern's just too good, and yeah, so I believe Bayern will pull it out and get the victory. All right, so going into another sports theme. This theme topic of this week is the Miami Heat have. I think today they won their 22nd game in a row, which is it's getting up there in the record books. I think not sure what Laker team had it, but if I believe so, I think a Laker team won. I want to say they're in the 70s. They won 36 games in a row, and I believe that's the record. Don't count me on that. You can go fact check that. But they're getting up there. They're having a pretty darn good year, and not my fear, but I'm just wondering if they're using all their juice now, and they're gonna cool off by the time of the playoffs, because the playoffs are what, May. So if they can continue their hot ways all the way through into the postseason, because the worst is getting hot like a month or two before the playoffs and cooling down right as you enter the playoff. That's never good. It's always good when you get hot right before the playoffs, like the Giants did. What, 2011, I think. I think that's when they won the Super Bowl, 2010. And yeah, so getting hot right before the playoffs is the way to go in all major sports. Alright, so going off from the Miami Heat's 22-game winning streak, Selection Sunday is today, and for you British viewers and non-American, it is the basketball college or university, I don't know what you want to call it, college basketball tournament, the NCAA tournament. They had their selection picks for the bracket today, and the number one seeds for this year's tournament are going to be Louisville, Kansas, Gonzaga, and Indiana. And there's not been one team that's really just stuck out ahead of everyone else. I remember that like 3 or 4 weeks in a row the number one team lost in the country. So there's not been one dominant team this year at all in basketball. And I always do brackets for the big dance, I want to call it, the tournament. I always do brackets for it, and last year I actually won, I think $200. I entered a league and put in like 10-20 bucks, and I came out with $200, and that was the first time. Oh no, I did well another time when Kansas won. I remember Mario Chalmers hit a shot, and I was pretty happy once he hit that shot. But yeah, so I won $200 last year, which hopefully I can keep my winning ways and win some more money this year, because it's pretty nice putting in $10 and coming out with $200 and just filling out a piece of paper. Well, I didn't think we did it online, but you get what I mean, guys. But in my opinion, I have no idea who's going to win the tournament this year. I have none whatsoever. I haven't been following college basketball that much this season. I know I paid attention, or at least I guess you kind of have to pay attention if you want to watch any sports, because that's all it is this week. It's championship week, where each individual conference has their tournaments, and it is on 24/7. It really is. Yeah, my favorite. This is my favorite week of I guess favorite 2 week stretch of college basketball is championship week into the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament, because after that it doesn't. It's not that it gets dry, but there's less games on, and I really like it when there's a lot of games on ESPN and CBS and all those networks, because it's fun going back and forth, and then the more games, the more buzzer beaters, and those are always good to watch, and they're always good to see, and they're very exciting. But if I had to pick someone in this tournament, I think, this is a hard decision. I mean, I know that Louisville's pretty hot lately, and I remember Kansas went into a little slide where they lost a couple bad games to not so great teams. But I think they picked it up recently, and I'm pretty sure they won the Big 12 championship. But I don't know. Gonzaga, they're not a major conference team. They're in the WAC, I believe. Yeah, I think they're no. I don't know. They're on the West Coast. I don't know. They have that one guy Olynyk who's pretty darn good, and he is NBA ready. But I don't know. I think I'm just gonna go with Indiana. They've been at number 1 the longest, and I think they can pull it off. Alright, thanks for watching this video, guys. Hope you enjoy it. Sorry about the career mode. They're not going to be out this week. I'll work on it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.